Talk about a tech company hive mind. Hello and welcome to the special reboot edition of Charmed Chats with Kendra
and Kat. Oh, this episode.
What was it you said about this?
That I would rather watch the original series, season 1, episode 6, which we all know, The Wedding from Hell. We all know how I feel about that episode, and I would rather watch that episode 4 times in a row than ever watch this episode again.
I understand.
Oh my god.
Well, that encapsulates your thoughts.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Let's get to that summary and let people understand why.
After a brief chase through some abandoned hospital or other, the sisters leave to regroup, and Hot Dreadlock Lady does a ritual with the scythe, releasing some thing from Tartarus. Something with a ring. The next morning, the girls plus Harry plus Elder Pantsuit confirm that the scythe has been used. Maggie enters an internship competition for a dating app despite Parker's offer of a summer position with his dad's company. Big Daddy is unhappy. Macy gets told by her boss to get a life in the most affirming way possible. A dude leaving a date gets attacked by something in his car. While conferencing, Harry, Mel, and Elder Pantsuit investigate a missing persons report. HDL watches from a distant bush. Maggie convinces Macy to sign up for said dating app. HDL, name of Jada, tries to recruit Mel into her super special girl gang while dropping some nuclear info bombs. She also returns Marisol's shard of the scythe. Charity tells Mel that the Sarkana are terrorists and then goes to drink on the porch. Harry joins her, and some sparks almost fly. Macy does an excellent job supervising Galvin, who lets slip that he and Summer have broken up. Parker and Maggie's sushi date is made odd both by the appearance of Hunter and Parker's request for a plasma donation from Maggie. Bug Demon strikes again, this time against a girl in a faux fur coat. It's a bit rapey. Harry cautions Mel against the Sarkana, and they realize their demon is a Cicada, who is on a date with Macy. Mel, Maggie, and Harry infiltrate Aptitude, the dating app that Maggie is working for, and they find Macy and the other victims all cocooned up in the basement. The Cicada Queen attempts to cook them to death, but Macy squashes her like the bug that she is. Maggie changes her summer plans to include her sisters. Another encounter with Jada leads Mel to summon Elder Pantsuit, who takes her to an elder conference. They beseech her to infiltrate the Sarkana. Maggie checks in on Parker. Macy asks out Galvin. Mel discovers a hidden door in a tattoo shop and is conked out when she steps through it because she almost saw Charity's supposedly dead little sister. Galvin gets hit by a car on his way to the bar. End scene.
I have so many thoughts.
Yeah, so let's start with the whole Cicada, who also spins webs, who also is like a Japanese honeybee in that she can vibrate herself to heat herself up, which that's not exactly how the Japanese honeybees work.
No, not so much.
So there's this type of Japanese honeybee that one of their defenses, because they don't have stingers, is to surround their enemy and vibrate so fast that they generate enough heat to cook their victim. Usually their victim is a wasp who is trying to infiltrate the hive and kill them. So This works out really well. I don't think they eat it. I think they just kill it.
Yeah, they just kill it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's a fascinating entomological thing. I love it.
And I don't... Okay, so here's my issue. Okay, so here's the thing. If they had just left it as Bug Demon, I would have been okay with it. Because, okay, fine, it's a weird hybrid cicada spider bee thing. Okay, fine. Weird bug demon. Got it. But they specifically said it was a cicada demon. Cicadas don't use webs.
Nope.
They lay their eggs in the bark of trees. So if Mama Queen who I swear to God had 8 spider legs. She did not look anything like a cicada.
What she looked like was the Rock from the Scorpion King.
Yeah,
well, sorry, not from the Scorpion King, but no, she looked like the Rock as the Scorpion King from the second Mummy movie.
Yes, well, he also had a movie for the Scorpion King.
Well, he did, but he didn't have the scorpion aspect.
Okay.
But scorpions are a type of arachnid, so...
Right. But so here's the thing, right? If they had just kept it as bug demon, had they not said it was a cicada, I would have been okay with it. Mm-hmm. I still would have been annoyed with it, but I would have been okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But cicadas are not, like, they don't eat things. They're fucking like herbivores. Like I'm so like.
Yeah, I know. It's an entomological nightmare.
Yeah, it's one of those where like okay, so I think like part of it was also the annoyance factor of we had this like weird thing where and also hive mind. Like that's not a cicada thing either. Yeah, and just, you know...
I thought it was interesting, though, that they had it literally be everyone in the company. Like, at first, we're thinking, oh, we're only working with one demon. And I think the summary for the episode said something about a changeling.
I don't know.
But I went into this based on the information I had, assuming it was going to be some kind of shapeshifter thing going on. Where it was, I don't know if it was, like, actually changing shape, or if it, like, took on the next victim as a shell, like, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it also threw in some hermit crab aspects up in there. Hermit crab chains are the most adorable fucking thing. You know about those?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so cute. Basically, if a hermit crab finds a shell that's too big for it, it waits for another hermit crab to inhabit that shell so it can take that hermit crab shell, and then a bunch of other hermit crabs will just line up in a row because they're like, oh, your shell is big enough for me, but you can't move yet. So they'll just like make a row, and then suddenly a hermit crab finds the big shell, and they're like, oh, this is perfect. Sheds out their shell, and everyone does like a mad musical chair dash.
Yep. It's quite fun.
Oh my god.
If you can find video on that, it's quite fun.
I haven't seen video on that, but I love the concept. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, they walk into Aptitude, freeze this girl who answers the door mid-word, basically, like at least mid-sentence. Read her mind to find that she's connected, that they're all connected via hive mind, so she's not just some random worker. And then...
she is some random worker bee.
Yeah. Again, like I said, if they had just left it as bug demon.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so I wrote in my notes, I was like, I bet anything they're just going to walk away without unfreezing her. And guess what they did? They walked away without unfreezing her. And you know where they went?
Further into the building.
Right. To the secured basement level P3.
I know. I saw that. I kind of chuckled.
Oh my god. Like, and I wrote in my notes because I was already annoyed at this point. I was like, they're really trying to annoy me today, huh? At this point, I was just livid. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I feel like that wasn't the only reference in this episode.
It was the most obvious reference.
It really was.
Of all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they leave to go down to this basement level without unfreezing this girl. That's not going to come back to bite them at all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just randomly freezing a girl mid-sentence and then disappearing from in front of her face, because that's not going to be an issue.
She's a bug demon, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then they find Macy covered in cobwebs before she's apparently stuffed full of eggs, even though there's a thing in her stomach.
Yeah, it was like just... It looked like an umbilical cord in the worst way possible.
And like all of the people that already have eggs in them have these like huge orange eggs coming out of their mouths.
It looked like giant salmon roe.
That's exactly what I thought. It was huge fish eggs. Which, so again, not bugs.
They really upped the gross factor on this one.
And then Macy kills the queen
by squashing her.
by squashing her because she uses her power to pick up a very heavy cabinet and just knock out the queen.
Yeah, some like electrical circuit breaker or some shit.
Right. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, awesome. Your powers are growing. You can pick up heavy shit. Great.
Does that mean all the other ones
But
die?
so now, all of these people that were chock full of eggs just mere seconds ago, perfectly fine after Harry just wipes the memory a little. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And this is why this annoys me. It's not even like I can get past the bug hybrid bullshit. I really can. It's the hand waving away of all the consequences.
Oh, and guess what? Next episode, not even mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, this is a bit spoilers for the next one, but like, they don't talk about how this entire building, suddenly all of the workers are gone. Or
right.
whatever. Like, there's zero consequences for the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing. It's not even mentioned.
Exactly. There's no even like a quick headline in the paper of this app that sprang up out of nowhere and then disappeared out of nowhere. Nothing. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where like it kind of reminds me of the original series in that bring in a thing and then never mention it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one thing we all know that I dislike about the original series that I dislike even more about this one because they have the chance to fix it. They have the chance to actually make things exist.
Yeah.
You know? The only thing that seems to happen is product placement. Sorry, that's next episode.
Nah.
Like, I have an issue where this episode seems like they have dumbed it down so hard. And there's no reason for it. I don't understand why.
Yep.
The biggest things that we get in this episode are actually the B story. With Dreadlock Demon Chick.
Mm-hmm.
Jada.
One thing, it was very, very small, that happened like right at the top of the episode, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie, like during the conference with Elder Pantsuit, Maggie says something about hunkering down. Surely Mom built an apocalypse bunker.
Right.
And you see Macy give her this like, come on now, look. It was really cute.
Yeah,
it was a cute sister moment.
That was cute. Yeah, I will give it that.
And now that we're onto the subject of Jada, when she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm half white letter," I'm like, "Bitch, I knew it."
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing about that, right? So she's half witch, half white lighter, and I wrote this in my notes, and I will say it now. If they make her half sister to Macy on her dad's side, I will riot. I'm putting that out there now. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they better not, but I'm just saying.
I don't think they're going to, mainly because we have no indication that Macy's dad was a witch.
Or a white lighter. Yeah, no.
I don't think he would have been a white lighter.
No, I don't think so either, because then Macy would have been. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying is I don't think they're going to, but if they try to do it, I will riot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for like a brief second, I was like, oh, clearly this is Fiona and Harry's kid. But then we find out that Fiona is Charity's sister, and I'm like, well, unless she's adopted, probably not.
Right. So that's the other thing, is that this is where I came up with it, is Macy's dad is dead, right? Mm-hmm. So the only thing I can think of is that Macy's dad is now a white lighter.
Maybe.
That's the only thing that I went with it. That's why I was like,
that'd actually be kind of fun.
That would be kind of interesting, but that's the only way that I would be kind of okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only way I would be kind of okay with it, is if Macy's dad is now a white lighter.
But otherwise, like, I am super into Jada, like, just as a concept, as this actress.
She's stunning.
She's great.
She's stunning as a person.
She's great. She's a good actor. She's real cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very nice to look at. She's very cute.
Yes.
But so
she has the best clothing.
She does. So speaking of clothing, so I want to know, the beginning of this episode, where is this fight taking place? Like, or not where? When is this fight taking place? Because
presumably that same night.
Right, but aren't they wearing different clothes?
I don't fucking know.
I'm fairly certain that the sisters are wearing different clothes than they were wearing last episode.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe they got a lead.
Yeah, so...
Maybe someone discovered scrying. I don't know.
I don't know. I do think it very funny, though, that she's on a roof when she does the whole...
I thought she was out in the parking lot.
Was she? I thought she was on a roof of the building.
She came out of that building that they were chasing her through.
Oh, I thought they were on
right
the roof
after
of the
they
building.
left and did it right there.
Okay, I thought she was on a roof of a building, so I must have
That would have
mistaken
been cool,
that.
though.
It would have been cool, but I like that when she stabs the scythe into the ground to open up the portal to Tartarus, you have this like fire lava stuff happening, and that's how the logo shows up.
Yeah.
That
was
was
real
through the
cool.
same type of lava fire stuff, and that was kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
that looked really neat, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Also, was the tattoo shop Mel went to, was that the same one Mama Roz was working out of?
I don't think so.
It looked like it looked like either the same set. It looked too similar. I'd have to go back and watch, and I didn't bother to do that. But like,
All I know is that it was called Mystic Mayhem Tattoo, and I was like, really?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, and that's the other thing, right? So we learn that Marisol, the girl's mom, was a supporter of the Sarkana,
yeah,
and that Jada helped Marisol write a spell in the Book of Shadows.
yeah. We don't find out what the spell
We
does.
Well, but don't we?
I don't think we do.
Yes, we do.
We find out where it is.
Right, we find out it's on page 672 or whatever.
Yeah.
And when Mel goes to the tattoo parlor, she holds up a piece of paper that has the symbol that is Jada's tattoo, the name of the spell, and then the words of the spell.
Okay.
And the spell is literally the way to open the secret door inside the tattoo shop. And she literally just says, in Spanish, discover the secret path. That is literally what the spell is. Like, are you kidding me? That's the extent of the spell, is to hide a door, and it's just discover the secret path in Spanish. Like, really? So, yeah. I
The way they write spells on the show is occasionally baffling. Which,
Well, I
granted,
don't-
like,
I
what's so
don't have an
special
issue.
about having a spell be, like, a rhyme? Or, like, in the original series, they do one that's just a fucking haiku. Like,
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the fact that Jada did the spell. I don't have an issue with the fact that it was, she helped Marisol with the thing. It's literally just the fact that the spell is discover the secret path in Spanish. That's the extent of the spell.
did Jada name the spell when she told her about it?
She did.
Okay, and was it the same name? Or
It was something with a D in Spanish, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was, because I
Okay.
didn't write it down.
That's fair.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I
I was just curious.
it was like Dessa something. Yeah, I can't think of it. But yeah, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she goes into this secret door, immediately gets hit in the head by a 2x4. Like, seriously, where the fuck did this chick get a 2x4? Just saying.
I mean, it's a very dark room.
It is a very dark room. It is literally a door that leads to a single beam of light down the middle, and that's it.
It's like a TARDIS.
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't look like it should fit inside that tattoo shop.
It's because it doesn't.
Well, yeah.
It's in another dimension, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this chick smacks Mel over the head. Jada comes out and is like, "What are you doing? She's the one I was trying to recruit." And the one who smacks Mel goes, "She almost saw Fiona." So right there, I'm like, okay, so is Fiona the one that started the Sarkana? Because that, the Sisters of Arcana, or as I lovingly called it, the Sarcasm Arcana. Like, that's the only thing that I could think of. I was like, okay, so it was started by an elder. So Fiona was an elder, I'm assuming, because Fiona is Charity's little sister.
I mean, they don't actually say.
They don't say, but that's my assumption, and so I'm putting that out there now. We'll see what happens in the future. Mm-hmm. But I just want to know where Mel was supposed to have almost seen Fiona. In the tattoo shop?
Somewhere in the shadows.
Or somewhere in this dark fucking room.
She must have been, like, heading straight for where Fiona was or something. Which, like, how would she have known that was Fiona?
Exactly. Exactly.
Do they almost like she and Charity like basically twins? I don't know.
We don't know because we have yet to see Fiona. We have yet to hear about it. Whatever. But yeah, I just I have so many thoughts. Let's go back to the beginning again because we will make our way back to the end. I love the fact that Mel is now our Phoebe type because she doesn't have a job. And so she can do all of the huntery things. We learned that at some point we learned that Chicago, where Maggie is doing the whole app thing to possibly get an internship in Chicago, and we learned that
it's like a 2-hour drive.
It's only a 2-hour drive away, which makes me wonder where in Michigan Hilltown is actually supposed to be.
Yeah, and also apparently Morningstar has a
Chicago
office,
branch.
Chicago branch, at which Parker apparently does a summer internship thingy.
Yeah.
And so then the scene where his dad's like, you couldn't get her to do this, we could have gotten a blood test. I'm like, wow, you're micromanaging, dude.
Yeah, you
don't have to be this angry about every failure that literally is not the kid's fault.
Yeah, and I take issue with the fact that Alistair was all like, you couldn't even get her to do this thing, blah, blah. It's like, I'm sorry, she's a strong, independent woman.
Who don't need no man.
Yeah, she's determined to do this on her own. I'm not going to squash that from her. I don't care what you say, Dad. Sorry. Anyway, I'm annoyed with the fact that I'm feeling bad for Parker.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel sorry for Parker.
Although, apparently, there is actually, he was not lying when he said autoimmune disorder.
Yeah, supposedly the human half is killing the demon half.
No, the demon half is killing the human half or something. There's some weird internal struggle happening physically with Parker. That's actually interesting.
And we do find out that Alistair does know about Maggie's ability to read minds.
Oh, does he say that?
Yeah.
I thought he just said empathy stuff.
No, he says use her ability to read your mind against her. So he does know.
Okay.
So I don't know if he actually got it out of Parker or he assumed or what.
Or this is another conflation of empathy and telepathy, which is kind of my pet peeve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote in my notes here, I was like, I'm still waiting for Macy's new boss to be evil because
just wait another episode.
Well, because here's the thing, right? So we get Hunter come in, kill dude, and then all of a sudden this woman shows up. She's got to be evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
She
has in on it.
She has to be. She has to be somehow out to get
She's
them.
At least nice.
Well,
she's mostly nice. She's mostly a little power hungry, but high-powered workaholic. I get that.
Yes. And I like the fact that she's trying to make it seem to Macy of have a life. Don't be like me. Have a life. I did like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's again where I was just like, this is too suspicious. She's being too nice.
Yeah, but they're not picking up that thread just yet.
Right.
It looks like.
Yeah. So we'll slide past that one a little bit. And then we go to so the app gets together these two dudes. Oh, that's the other thing, right? the app has no issue of boys and girls and whatever, because the first couple that we see that have gotten together via this aptitude thing are two boys, which is awesome. It was great. Loved it. And I immediately was like, oh, which one's going to die?
Turns out, neither.
No. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No, he didn't die. He was in the...
he didn't die, but he was...
Basement. He got cocooned, but he didn't die.
Correct.
A rare episode where no human actually dies.
Correct.
But no. I'm pretty sure the only purpose of this app, the reason why it works so well, is because all they do is data mine the people who join the app and match them up with some cicada who can then read their profile and be the perfect person for them.
Exactly.
So literally, anytime you meet someone with this app, they're a bug.
Exactly.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And honestly, really good strategy. Well, if you're matching it with someone from the company who can be the perfect person to lure them in.
I mean, it's a good concept for the bad guy.
Yeah.
However, when all
it's
of
really
the
effective.
When all of the aptitude people start going missing, and all they have in common is this app, eventually they're going to get caught by the actual police, not just the witches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Speaking
but the police hadn't gotten that all together
yet
until Maggie decided that she was like, wait, I recognize these names.
Yeah.
Which, like, it would...
They would have gotten there eventually, though.
Uh-huh, yeah.
They would have gotten there eventually. Because as much as cops are bad at their jobs, they're usually good at their jobs.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I named Charity Elder Pantsuit because it seems to be the most appropriate name I could have ever given her because we have only ever seen her in white pantsuits.
Yeah, it's her thing. And apparently wearing white is very much an elder thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the weird no-face bit.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
It was a little creepy. It was a little Doctor Who-esque.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Uh-huh. But I liked the fact of that they...
and I couldn't quite tell if it was entirely practical or like partially practical, partially CGI, or entirely CGI. Like it was extremely uncanny valley.
It was a bit.
Where just like their faces are just gone.
I'm assuming it was practical because it would be fairly easy to do practically.
I don't know, because think on that episode of Doctor Who, that was CGI. I've seen the blooper reel. It was just Rose with the dots on, or it was Billie Piper with the dots on her face, and she kept making David laugh.
True. Yeah, I guess they could have done it CG. I mean,
like,
this show has enough of a budget.
And looking back, like Doctor Who has no budget,
mm-hmm.
or had no budget back in like the first 2 seasons, and it still looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could have been CG because they have enough of a budget to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact that Mel gets to meet the elders.
He twitched when he saw the notification come up.
It happens.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
It's adorable. I like the fact that all of the elders are women.
Mm-hmm. Clearly different ethnicities as well.
Yeah, gotta keep that on brand.
Different ages, it looks like.
But I love the fact that that they were faceless to keep their identity secret, but we could tell that they were different ethnicities and whatever, and that at least one of them was wearing flats. Like, almost everyone was in heels, but the one that was wearing flats looked to be the older black lady in the back. And I was like, yes, lady. You know how to do.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very funny. And she was the only one also that had a beige overjacket thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, she wasn't just in strict white. She had
and then they were
beige.
in, like, the weird dimensional rift of
the
living room where all the walls were all
an
white.
Alternate dimension where they made the manor.
It's the room of requirement. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was kind of fun, though. However, the elders wanting Mel to join the Cicada as a spy.
Mel's not that good at spying.
She's really not. But we need Mel to join.
None of them are.
We need Mel to join the Cicada because she thinks that Jada is the one that killed her mom because, you know, Jada's power gave her the same mark that it gave their mom, so she's automatically assuming that Jada killed her mom, and so she's all gung-ho to do this. And
yeah, like, all of the talk between, like, when she goes over to the Cicada and when she is talking with Elder Pantsuit, and I'm just like, okay, so clearly this is setting up that one of the two sides is intentionally lying, and we don't know which one yet. And I'm very curious to find out where the twist is going to happen.
And I don't necessarily think that it's one of the two sides is intentionally lying. I really, truly think
misunderstanding?
That it's going to be a misunderstanding.
Okay, I can see that. But, like, I mean, as this isn't happening in this episode quite yet, but, like, as we're talking to Jada, she keeps dropping more info bombs. Like, all of these things she says could be, like, cherry-picked truth, or they could just be truth. Like, it's tough to tell right now, just based on the way that they're writing all of this.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing with Elder Pantsuit. Like, you can tell she's not giving all of the information, but you can't tell whether what she's not giving makes the information she's giving null and void, or if it's just she doesn't think it's relevant. Well, like, that's what I'm saying. It's ambiguous right now, and I kind of like that.
Right, but here's the thing. So, because we learned that Fiona is Charity's little sister, and we learned that Fiona is in the Sarkana somehow.
Yeah.
And I am assuming that Fiona is the one who started the Sarkana. It's just my assumption. With Charity thinking that the Sarkana are terrorists, this is why I'm saying I think somehow she thinks the Sarkana killed her sister. Or,
that seems to be...
Or sibling rivalry, she's pissed off because her sister broke away from the elders to create the Sarkana.
Maybe.
And so for her, this is a personal vendetta thing.
Yeah, Harry's take on the entire thing is that the Sarkana just, like, let her die or whatever.
Well, see, because here's the thing.
Which, how weird is it that he was involved with his charge's sister? Because, like, generally... I thought White Letters, if it was like a family of witches, they would all be their charges. Or maybe that's just me from the previous series.
But... I don't know. But here's my thing, right? So Mel and Harry are talking in the attic as they're trying to figure out the whole thing. And this is when we learn that Charity is Fiona's older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Harry says again that he lost Fiona. He doesn't say she died. He just said he lost her. Mel says something about something happened and then she killed herself. And he doesn't say no, but he doesn't acknowledge it.
Correct.
So I think Harry knows that Fiona's still alive.
Mm-hmm. And we don't know who they pulled out of Tartarus.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be Fiona?
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Because that's, again, one of the only things that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And all we saw from the person that got pulled out of Tartarus was this ring on their finger.
Mm-hmm.
And Jada's saying it's a powerful witch that the elders put in Tartarus.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying somehow I think it might be Fiona, and that Charity is pissed off because Fiona did this thing that she shouldn't have done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So there's a lot of things. Cutting back into a different portion of the show, I think it's very interesting. They go on this sushi date.
Mm-hmm.
Parker and Maggie go on this sushi date. And we have Hunter coming in as the waiter in the thing, the waitress.
I think that was supposed to be like the owner or the hostess or something.
I don't know.
Like she comes in and she's like, "Oh, hi, how's everything going?" And I think Maggie seems like this woman is vaguely familiar to her. Like maybe she goes there occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see her again in the bathroom hitting on Parker, and I'm just like, okay, so Hunter is a shapeshifter.
Uh-huh.
Hunter doesn't care what gender he is currently encompassing.
Uh-huh.
Is Hunter pan?
Don't know.
I mean, it's not great representation either way.
Correct.
But, like, if Hunter is a shapeshifter and has to, like, use whatever form he's in to get whatever the fuck he wants, he probably doesn't care who he fucks.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting, though, that they're making Hunter seem like a caring brother right now. Because when we first met him, he was kind of being a dick. And so all of a sudden now he's
this is also like some of the first stuff we're getting where we see him and Parker like a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's clear that while he's not a great brother, he's at least like a, hey, you're my brother, and so yes, I care about you, but like,
right, and,
I'm gonna noogie you.
Right, and once we get what we need, you'll be better.
Yeah. Like he's less bad than Dad. but that's not saying a whole lot.
Very true. Because right now they're trying to get plasma from the girls. They already have Macy. Well,
they're trying to get blood.
Yeah, blood or whatever.
When you donate plasma, I'm pretty sure they just take a bunch of blood and then sort through it, sift through it, sieve it. I don't know how it works.
Medical term.
Wait, hang on. No, I think they centrifuge it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But
they spin it around. A right round, baby.
Yes. They turn it into a rat song. They already have Macy's blood because Hunter killed the dude.
Yeah, because they had to do a drug test or whatever.
Right. So they already have that. So now Parker is using his autoimmune disease to be like, I need a plasma transfusion. I've already asked my family to do a thing. And Maggie's like, yes, you're my boyfriend and I love you. I will totally get myself tested for plasma.
And he's like, shit, that worked?
Yeah, exactly.
Which, honestly, elegant solution.
Yeah, I mean, it made perfect sense and he should have done it earlier. Just saying. But I like the fact that she's like, yeah, I'm totally going to do it.
And
so we find out,
like, I know you hate needles. The amount of information he knows about this girl is, like, really heartening.
Yeah.
Like, he pays attention.
Yeah, and this is why I say I hate that I like him.
I know, he's not an ideal boyfriend, but he's definitely not bad if he didn't have an ulterior motive.
Yes.
Like, fucker pays attention.
Yeah.
I could do with him knowing less about her work schedule, because that's a bit creepy.
Well, I mean, not necessarily.
He knew about it without asking her, though. That was my problem.
Well, yeah, right.
It's like, you're not allowed to walk into a place and go, hey, when is X working? They're not supposed to tell you.
Correct.
Because that's a problem.
Correct.
So, like, I don't know how he knows other than walking past the restaurant where she works.
A lot.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
That's just fucking creepy. But other than that, he's good.
Right. Anyway, sort of. I like, though, that so later on in the episode, toward the end of the episode, we learn that Mel went with Maggie to give plasma, and Mel decided to give some of her own because, you know, she's that kind of person.
Oh, someone will really appreciate that.
Yeah. But I was laughing because when Maggie walked into Parker's room, one of the things he had on his wall was like what looked like a school mascot thing, and it was a Hydra. I'm like, I'm sorry, are they the Hilltown Hydras?
No.
Like, no. What?
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's true or not. I just happened to see a Hydra on the wall behind him, and I'm
I
like,
hope not.
Oh, please,
no.
Please let them be the Hilltown Hydras. Please let that be a thing. Oh, golly gee.
Oh, no. Now I'm having Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. flashbacks.
I know. Okay. Oh, because, you know, gotta love that. So here's the other thing, right? So we get Macy, who has decided that she is going to go for Galvin despite all the things, because now she knows that he's broken up with Summer and he's available.
Yeah, that was a nice speech she did on the phone.
Yeah, she calls from the bar and is all like, you know, if you're still up for it, let's do this. I'm here at the bar. Come, whatever. And he's like, okay, I'll be there. I gotta finish.
Fist pump.
Yeah, it was cute. He's like, I gotta finish what I'm doing, and then I'll be there. And I immediately was just like, okay, so he agrees to come for a drink. So is he going to get attacked? What is going to happen to him? Because you know that he can't just show up and everybody be happy.
Yeah.
Like, because that's how these things go. Mm-hmm. And so the last thing that we see in this episode is him texting her, I'm on my way, and then he gets hit by a fucking car.
Yeah.
And we hear the car rev its engine as it comes at him.
Ugh.
So my immediate thought was, is this Hunter? Is this Alistair? Is that, like, who is behind the wheel of this car that's just like, I'm gonna drive into this kid right now? I
don't know. Some racist?
Yeah, like I was like, why? Why was there a revving of the engine? This wasn't just a hit and run. This was not an accident. This was a, you know.
Oh my god. So one of my friends just posted about how her boyfriend got hit by a car. It was like a hit and run, and they found the person because an auto shop called in a suspicious job, they found a boot imprint on the car.
Oh, man.
And they're like, yeah, we found an imprint of a shoe. And this person says they didn't hit a person. So, like, here I call cops. And then I guess they, like, cross-checked where the driver had been. And they're like, oh, yeah, this person definitely did this hit and run.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so have we covered all the points? To where,
I feel like we have.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so hold on.
No?
I loved there was a cute sister moment between Macy and Maggie where they were at the table in the kitchen, whatever, and Maggie goes to like grab Macy's hair, and she goes,
we talked about this.
We talked about this.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I love that because it's like that's the one time where it's like I didn't feel like they were trying to cram a capital M message down my throat. It was just a don't touch my hair. Mm-hmm. like even if you're family, you should ask before touching.
Well, yeah, no, because there was it definitely connected in with the bit where Macy was talking about how Asian men and black women are the least swiped on dating profiles.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, she might not be the gender studies person in the family, but like she woke. But yeah, like, Maggie's like, this gorgeous hair. No, don't touch my hair. Do not touch my hair.
It's like,
you are not permitted to touch.
Yeah, it's like, even if it's family, don't touch people without asking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the other funny thing that I saw in this episode that just, it made me laugh so hard. So they go to the crime scene. It's Charity and Harry and Mel. They go to this crime scene of dude's car.
Mm-hmm. And they steal some gloves.
Yeah, they steal the blue gloves out of the bag. And
out of the box.
Well, it was out of it was out of a bag that was in a box.
No, it was out of a box that was in a bag.
Whatever. They steal blue gloves.
We have these dispensers at work. They're neoprene gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It did make me wonder what happened. Bag. Yes. It did make me wonder what happened to Harry's insanity about being sure to leave everything exactly where it was, because I doubt they're going to put these gloves back. Because guess what? They don't put the gloves back.
Well, no, but like if several gloves disappear from a full dispenser of gloves, no one's going to notice.
But that's what I'm saying is it was like they took all of the gloves out of this bag. It became an empty bag. And it had been a full bag full of gloves in front of this cop.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. But the funniest part ever for me was that Charity was having the hardest time putting on the gloves. And it was hilarious because then when she finally got them on, they were so fucking baggy on her hands. It was like, and this is where like I wrote about it. So I was like, I swear the continuity in this show rivals the original in its absence. It's just like they left with the gloves. They didn't do the thing. We saw Charity trying to put the same glove on like 6 times. It was great. I don't know. It was nuts. And then in the next scene, we learn that apparently because we learn that Chicago is only 2 hours away, and Maggie says something about Harry being able to just, come and teleport her back. And Macy tells Maggie that teleporting people depletes Harry's magical energy. First of all, what? Second of all, what?
Third of all, why?
Yeah. And it's like, and how is this going to come into play in the future?
I mean, hey, world building. I like having world building. I like that this is not a complete out for everything. It's like, just like Harry can teleport me. Like, no, he can get tired. Yeah. Like, it's work to do this shit.
Right. I get that.
Like, you'd get tired if you kept having to freeze shit or like move shit. Like, it's work. Just because he's not technically alive doesn't mean it works differently for him.
Yeah, no, I get the fact that they did it because it was a way of saying we can't just use Harry as our own personal teleportation device.
Yeah.
I get that. But the way that it was stated was just like, okay, how is this going to fuck them over in the future?
Oh, countless ways, I'm sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because like the way that she stated it was, it depletes his magical energy. Okay, so what episode are we going to have to wait for that he has to orb himself to 16 different places and he only has enough energy for 15 of them? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
and does all of his orbing somehow transport them to the mirror dimension?
Yeah, I don't know. I still love the fact that elder pantsuit comes in through a nice little pink hole in the wall, though. Mm-hmm. It's quite fun. All right, so final thoughts for me. Dear God. I thought the show was starting to get better. I really did. Last episode, it was just starting to get better, but this one just tanked. It just we have gone past all the cicada bug demon craziness, hybrid bullshit. And, like, I understand that there are some predictable things that have to happen, but I just can't with this episode. There are just so many inconsistencies that I literally had to force myself to finish watching after the cicada spider web thing. Like, this episode gets like a 2.5 out of 10 for me. And that's only, it gets that extra little bit because of the clothes. Because the clothes they were wearing this episode were really cute. That's literally the only reason they get a little bit extra. Because I don't ever want to watch this episode again. Like, ever.
Okay, well, fortunately, we don't have to.
Yes. Okay.
We done?
Yeah, we have no sign off.